Hello and welcome to the Cold Coffee Club, a podcast brought to you by Houston Moms. We're here to give you a little bit of that mom-to-mom connection, fun, and conversation amidst all the chaos. Join us as we take a break from doing all the things and explore the wide spectrum of this crazy motherhood role. We'll interview fun guests, talk about cool grown-up topics, laugh, share, and grow together. So go ahead, reheat that coffee and put your feet up. Here we go.
All right, welcome to the Cold Coffee Club. Today we are doing a special rodeo edition of our show. So I'm Ashley and I'm here with my co-host Jenny. Jenny, say hey.
Hey, and we have a very special guest today with us. We have Meagan Clahanan, who is the co-owner of Houston Moms. Welcome, Meagan.
Hey, y'all. So happy to join y'all on your podcast today. Since, I haven't been a part yet. So this is exciting.
Well, welcome. So as y'all know, the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo is happening now. It started February 28th, and it goes through March 20th at NRG Park. And 2020 cut the rodeo a little bit short with the pandemic, and then there was no rodeo in 2021. So everyone's super excited for it to be back this year. And not only that, but it is the 90th anniversary of the rodeo this year. So super exciting. So luckily we have Meagan here, who is a rodeo vet. She knows all things rodeo, and she's going to give us some tidbits and things that we need to check out at the rodeo. But first, Meagan, please share with us your big news from the rodeo so far this year.
We were so excited. Houston Moms partners annually with Reliant, and they do a great job about putting on some really fun charity events. One of the best ones they do is a rodeo cook-off. It's like a mini cook-off. It is on the day that rodeo cook-off starts. And so there's just a lot of excitement in the air. Basically, we partner with a charity this year. And actually, as I have in the past, we partnered with Graham McDaniel Foundation, which supports congenital heart defects and families in Houston who are going through that journey, and something that is near and dear to my heart personally, no pun intended. But my daughter Quinn was born with a CHD. And so this is kind of our way to give back. And Reliant allowed us to give back in a really fun way. So we participated, we cooked a side dish, and then we also had to make a cocktail. And we did really well. For the first time ever, 2 years ago when we had cook-off, I think I got like best knife skills, because I think they were just like, we have to give her something. Like, she needs an award of some kind. It was a Gimme award.
They're like best hair.
Her nails looked really good when we were talking about. I mean, so I had some room to maneuver and kind of up the game this year, now that I kind of knew how it was played a little bit better. And my partner, Sarah, who is representing Graham McDaniel Foundation, we made a spicy ranch water, and we made a corn elote dish, and we actually won for best sip for our ranch water. So that was exciting news. Number one. It's not lost on me, guys, that I won for a cocktail.
Hey, man, you got to lean into those gifts. Lean in.
Yes.
It was not a stretch. But the ironic thing is I don't like tequila, like, at all.
Oh.
It was a bad experience at LSU circa 1998. And I don't think I ever recovered. Yeah. So I made this delicious drink, and I tasted it. It tasted delicious if I like tequila, but I don't. Right. So we won that. That was really exciting. And then they do this hard luck contest, and it's a call-in vote or text in vote, actually, where we rally the troops to text in hard luck Meagan to a certain number, and all of the other media participants who are there do it as well. And if you win the hard luck vote, you get an additional $2,000 for your charity. And this year we won the hard luck vote too.
Yay!
Oh my gosh.
That's awesome.
No, I was so excited yesterday. I mean, like literally my heart was pounding. I got the email and I like jumped out of my chair. And my daughter thought something was dramatically wrong. I'm like, we won money. And then she was like, for us?
Right.
Yeah.
$1,000? That was fun to explain, but no, baby. It's for the kids. But yeah, so it was a fun event.
Very cool.
So
Very
fun.
cool. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah. So as we head into the rodeo, especially for someone like me who's never been, what kind of advice or places or things that we need to see? What do you have for us?
Oh, where do you start? First of all, if you have never rodeoed, you must rodeo. It's a must do if you live in Houston. You know, I laugh. I think the first thing is like wardrobe. That may be such like a thing to think about. And that's why I'm wearing the Texas hat today, because it's very
on theme.
Without being a cowboy hat. Also, I didn't want to do my hair. So that's where we're at.
It works.
But so I love getting like dressed. I personally like getting dressed up for rodeo. I like wearing a pair of boots and a hat and what have you, but definitely not a requirement. I think step one is to decide if you are going with your family or if you are going to have like a girls' night or a date night or what have you, because what you do will dramatically change depending upon who's with you. So do you want to start kids first or like a family girls' night? Or
we'll start kids first and then get to the serious stuff.
Yeah. So there's so much to see, obviously, for the kids. I believe if you show up like right when it opens, 9 a.m., head on over to the Ag Venture Barn. And they have tons of stuff to see over there with your kids. And don't forget when you're walking in, one of the big landmarks, if you will, of the rodeo is the giant, huge cowboy boot that Reliant puts out. And it's always just like a great photo op, selfie op, Instagrammable. Speaking of Instagram, there is also a really cool backdrop that Reliant has new this year. It's over, and this isn't sponsored, by the way. I feel like I should say that. Reliant is obviously like the number one supporter of the Houston Rodeo. So it is over at NRG Center at Hall C. And it's called the Rockin' Rodeo. And so apparently they have this backdrop that can make you feel like you're on the stage at the rodeo. Of course, the rodeo is known for the rotating stage. And then it also has something where you can get up and it looks like you're saddled onto a bull and just like a fun photo op over there. So head on over to Hall C too. Now for kids. Okay. So food, obviously, we got to hit the food. Jenny, what's your favorite food at the rodeo? I'm trying to.
Well, you got to go through all the fried things. Yeah. I mean, there's lots of fried things. I mean, you get like the normal like funnel cake and like that, but then there's like fried Oreos and like fried Twinkies and all of that. But then just the regular barbecue. I mean, you can just go hit up like there's lots of like actual restaurants that set up, for several days. And there's a really good food over there.
It's so good. And so I think the kids, it's just the one day you need to let them go wild. You'll regret it later, but the memories. Somebody told me they have a deep fried Reese's peanut butter cup or something. I mean, it seems like a treat that you may want.
Real low calorie is really what we're getting at here. Just healthy.
Super healthy. I would also say investigate the courtesy shuttles and vans and other ways to get to the rodeo, especially if you're bringing family to the rodeo. There's a few different ways you can handle it. And if you hit the HLSR site, and they have some good tips and tricks there too. Of course, we'll have them in our guide as well. Metro might be a better option just so you're off site. So you can maybe drive to a metro station, then metro into the rodeo grounds, and then metro out, and kind of save you from those surge Uber prices. And of course, there's parking and what have you, and pedicabs if you're down with the pedicab situation. But if you're toting around little ones, it might not be, your most favorite thing to do. So just check out parking options before you go. Have a plan, I think is what I'm saying.
Yep.
Got it. Good to know.
Yeah.
Let's see. Okay. I have a question that I could Google, but I wanted you to explain it to me. What is mutton busting?
Okay. This is actually funny because I think it was on KHOU the other morning. And the meteorologist is not from here. And this is her first year in Houston. And she was like, what are they doing with muffins?
Muffins.
Oh, that's adorable.
Oh, it's so funny. Okay, so mutton busting, it is something your kids can participate in, or it's just super cute to watch if your kids don't want to do it. I cannot remember the exact age group. It's a very small.
I think it's like, I want to say 5 to 7 or something.
Okay.
They narrow it down.
They can't be too big or too little. So it's a very small age bracket.
Okay.
Exactly. And so you basically, if your kid wants to participate in the mutton busting, which basically means they're hopping on the back of a mutton, which is basically just a huge sheep. I think it's a sheep.
Yeah, it's a sheep.
Okay.
And they put them in like a little padded jacket and they put them in a helmet. So they are protected, even though sheep are not all that like vicious. Just in case they like get,
tossed around a little.
I mean, the sheep aren't doing a whole lot of bucking.
Okay.
But they are moving, and the kids are going around this little arena. So it's basically simulating the rodeo that the kids can participate in. But if you want your kids to do that, you need to go straight to the mutton busting tent and sign them up that day that you go. So they don't take like pre-advanced signups, I don't believe. So you just want to go straight there, get them signed up, and they'll let you know how the whole process works. But
okay,
so they're basically they lay on top of the sheep like face down, and they hold on to like their wool is what they're doing. They're like kind of like holding it, like laying on it. And then they let the sheep out of the tent, out of the cage, and it just kind of runs, and they just hold on as long as they can, and then they fall off.
And that sounds awesome.
And they get up and they're like, I did it. It's very.
Oh, that is so cute.
So, and actually, if you've never been to the rodeo, when you go in it to the evening show, hi, bud. We have our first kid podcast guest.
Gosh,
it's the first time. I love it.
Yep.
It's so cute.
Just woke up from nap and barged on in. It's fine.
Okay. That's what we're here for. I was waiting. I wondered if it was going to be mine or yours the first time it ever happened.
Yep.
Okay.
Well, it's about to be my dog. I'll tell you that.
Hey, that's what it's kind of life, ma'am.
Yeah.
Actually, Jenny, you keep going. I'm going to let the dog.
Okay, so when you go to the evening show, though, so we've been kind of talking about like the daytime part of the rodeo. If you go at night into the big NRG stadium, the rodeo, you have like the kind of the livestock part, which is where there's like the barrel racing and the where you see like the bull riders and all that kind of stuff. And that is really fun to watch, and that kind of stuff your kids will love to see. There's the covered wagon races. The girls with the lasso and all that kind of stuff. It's really fun. And there is mutton busting there. And that is where they bring in probably, 30 kids. And I don't know how they pick those ones. but it's really cute. And they put them up on the big screen, and that's cute.
Aww.
And they also do something called a calf scramble, which is really kind of fun to watch. And they bring in these FFA kids from all over the city. And they kind of all work together, but it's kind of hard to explain, but they let loose, I don't know, what do you think it is, Meagan, like 100 calves?
It has to be at least 100, and there's all these kids running all over the place trying
and
to.
And they have to catch them, and it's very Texas is what it is. But then after that all of those events are done, there's like basically a sequence of these rodeo events. When that is done, they clear all that out. And then they bring out the stage, and that's when the concert begins.
Oh,
so you kind of want to get there a little early so you can see all of the rodeo events.
Gotcha.
And then that's when the concert begins after that.
Okay.
So that's all in the evening portion.
Okay.
And in the stadium is where you can get additional food and drinks and all, just like regular stadium food and drinks.
Gotcha. So in 2020, I was really looking forward to the Lizzo concert. There were several of us Houston moms contributors who were going to go together, and then that didn't happen. But this year, what concerts are y'all most looking forward to?
Oh, I need to pull up the list. Hold on.
Oh.
I'm always a big fan of Chris Stapleton. We have seen him at the rodeo at least once, if not twice prior. And he's just so good. Yeah. But I saw him in concert this past November. So, and it's, I think over spring break. So we're not going to do that one. I am doing Maren Morris with my best friend. So that is going to be a fun one, very much a girls' night experience. And then I really want to see Luke Bryan, TBD, if that actually happens. Unless he's, I don't think he's tonight. I can't remember when he is. He might be
tonight is Keith Urban.
Okay. I think he's towards the end. Oh, and I really wanted to see Brad Paisley.
He's
and I think he may be closing it out, but George, but of course, thank you, Jenny. How can we forget? George is actually closing out the rodeo, which I think is so amazing and historic, given that it's the 90th year of rodeo, and who better than George Strait to kind of take that out. So those are my top ones. Probably. I don't go for the pop at the rodeo for whatever reason. For some reason, like that just seems wrong to me, but I know a lot of people are really excited about Gwen Stefani and all of those. But
I mean, I am, but I've never been to the rodeo. So I mean, but I kind of get what you're saying without having been there yet. It's kind of like off theme a little bit.
And I mean, truly, once you're there, I mean, it is a very big part. It's just a party, especially in the evening. And that stage that I was talking about earlier is so cool because you really do get the 360. So there's not a bad seat in the house for the rodeo, which is really nice. So you're not going to see King George's rear end the entire time you're there. And he will be spinning very slowly on a stage. So
in 2000, I guess it would have been 2019, I saw Garth Brooks at the rodeo, and I feel like I could be done. Like, I'm like, but this has been the best, and I will never see anything better than this. Like, this has been the best. But I mean, that was amazing. So, and then we have a couple different, my husband has some tickets through work. And so I kind of get to like pick one because he has to take clients. And I'm like, well, then can I be a client? I will be a client. But I'm trying to figure out which one I want to go to. But I think, they're like, it's sadly like none of them are the ones that I'm like, they're not my favorite people, but but again, I saw Garth Brooks. So from now on, I will be happy with whatever. I will never complain again. Yeah.
Okay. So y'all tell me. No,
I was just going to say that was truly a spiritual experience. Garth.
Garth at the rodeo. I think it's the same thing. George Strait at the rodeo. Like, it's like, well, then we can finish it now.
I hear he puts on a great show. So I bet.
What was your question, Ashley?
So tell me about this wine garden. I've heard about the wine garden. I need to know more. Please give me more.
So the wine garden, I don't know when they started it, but it hasn't been around for the last 15 years. I mean, it was a relatively new installation when we first started going to the rodeo. But they have this area. You think obviously like with rodeo, you think beer and all of that. I'm not a beer drinker. I drink like maybe one beer a year. And so the wine garden, I'm very like, it's a really neat place. You go in, they have 70 different wines to choose from, a lot on tap there. And then they actually make it, I want to say they even do like a wine, like similar to like cook off, but like, there's winery
a little contest of some sort.
To compete as well. And so these are like award-winning wines that are kind of like all at your fingertips, and you get tickets and coupons if I remember correctly from the last time I was there. But it is I'm looking up exactly, it's located in Caruth Plaza. And it's in between NRG and the Astrodome. So it's kind of like this little oasis in the middle.
It's pretty close. It's like really close to the stadium, I feel like it.
Yeah. I mean, it's not far, but it's kind of this individual area to where it feels like you're not in all of the rodeo stuff, and which is kind of nice. And obviously perfect place if you're going with your girlfriends or going on a date night. Make sure you check out that wine garden for sure.
Right. It's not near like all the rides and the loud carnival area. It's not by the carnival, because I think they kind of want it to feel a little sequestered away from all of the, fun, but very loud, kid centered, kind of family friendly area. And so the wine garden is not going to be near the roller coasters.
It's going to feel a little more calm and
grown up.
Yep. That's kind of, completely my jam. They also have some great photo ops over in that area too. And lots of really cool statues and things to take pictures with, which is really fun as well.
Awesome. Well, I am definitely planning on this year being my first year. I cannot miss it this year.
I'm so excited for you.
Yes, I'm pumped.
I want to know all your feelings.
Oh, and I'm going to try all the things. I was telling Megan, I'm definitely going to have a kids day and then also like a grown-up day. And so, and on that note, there is a free family Wednesday for kids 12 and under. They get in free, and for adults 60 and over. And if you go, it only works if you go before noon. And then also they're going to have deals on rides and games for $2, and then $2 food and drink items at select food stands on those free Wednesdays. So that'll be the day I take my kids.
What date is that? Do you know? As you have it in front of you?
It's every Wednesday.
It's every Wednesday.
Oh, every Wednesday. I thought it was like once. Okay, good to know.
No, every Wednesday. Yeah. And y'all didn't mention this, but I saw that there's a birthing center. I am like floored. That sounds amazing.
Oh,
you can see oh no, sorry. Nope, for mamas. Sorry, for animals.
This is a lot. Okay. All right. Sorry.
Can you imagine?
Like Texas Women's was trying to get in there with and we are sponsoring a tent, and you just pop on over, pop one out. It's going to be great.
One and done. You can be at the rodeo, do your rodeo stuff, and have your baby.
Y'all.
Sorry.
I'm in a different headspace today.
When I saw about the animal birthing center, I thought my children would be just amazed at that. And so that is one thing we are really looking forward to. So yeah,
there is really cute, there's like an area I remember inside where they have like all the little eggs, like where the chicks are hatching, and like almost like at every moment they have like hundreds of them, and so there's like always an egg hatching. It's really cute. That's a cute.
That sounds awesome. Yeah. Awesome. Well, any other insights you guys want to offer real quick to the rodeo for us newbies?
Don't eat the fried food and then get on one of the carnival rides. Don't do that.
That's a pro tip right there.
Well, or don't let your kids do that. They're not ready for it.
Oh, yes.
No,
Oh,
that's
no.
true.
Good to know.
Do the rides and then the food.
Good to know.
Order.
Exactly.
Just a little tip.
Pace your day. You can make it a really fun, long day. And especially for a lot of us who are coming from outside the city, it's a haul. Get down there and park and do all the things. So make sure you just take breaks, drink lots of water. Don't stay for 8 hours at the wine garden. May not be a solid idea. I do also want to mention, because I do think this is really cool. Obviously, especially if you're out there all day, you're going to have your phone, and I always run really low because I'm taking pictures of my kids, all the things. And I am, trying to meet up with friends or what have you. Reliant has like a dozen charging centers around the rodeo, and you can pull up their map and find a charging center. And they also give you discounts on the first couple of hours of the charging for the portable system. So that's just a really great benefit if you're looking at your phone and you're like, okay, so Gwen's about to come on and I'm at 8%. And how am I going to video this for all my Instagram friends if I don't have a battery? So just take advantage of that. I think that's really cool. But just enjoy. This is a once in a year thing for Houston. And it's a way to really, I think the important thing is that it is a huge way to give back to all of these kids. They raise so much money for children who work in agriculture. I can never say that word. I'm on a podcast.
You nailed it. You got it. You said agriculture.
Thank you. And so that it's just a huge moneymaker for these kids. And so the kids who raise the animals, who are then sold at auction, who are doing art, and it's a great way to support future farmers of America, literally, and keep the history of Texas alive in the fact that we raise livestock. Not a lot of us are as familiar with that now. So this is a great way to learn some history about that. Show your kids how to do it, and maybe they even will want to have an interest later. Hopefully maybe not an interest in bull riding, because I would have to put down my foot on that one. But the other things, I think it's, beyond business and engineering. This is really a huge part of the Houston and surrounding area. So,
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for sharing all that with us. And for more information about the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo, you can definitely check out our guide. And there's a lot more in-depth information there, and it'll definitely help make your experience that much better.
And we're going to include the link in the show notes.
Absolutely.
So in the show notes there.
All right. Well, thank you all for joining us today, and enjoy rodeo season.
Thanks, Megan.
Thank you.
Bye, y'all.
All right.
You've been listening to the Cold Coffee Club, brought to you by Houston Moms. We wish you a fabulous week with your families and look forward to sharing many more cups of cold coffee with you.